how do we get rid of FOMO, which stands for fear of missing out? It's so interesting. We keep creating more and more illnesses. By the grace of science and some very smart people, we managed to eradicate most of what killed people 100 years ago. And yet we find ourselves still besieged with illness. May not be that which you get from bad water or a mosquito, but nonetheless, we are certainly not living in more of a state of ease and peace and internal health. Even if our lifespan has increased, our internal health hasn't. And so, voila, FOMO. We now have fear of missing out. It used to be fear of the plague, or fear of, tigers, or warring tribes, or somebody, running off with my house, or my wife, or now, phobias of missing out. There was another one a few years ago that I heard about on a plane, actually, in the magazine, where they have these vocabulary tests. I was reading the vocabulary test in the magazine on a plane a few years ago, and the word was nomophobia. And these quizzes, by the way, are real. They're not jokes. They're things to pass the time, but they're real. And I thought, well, all right, I'm a psychology student. I know what phobia means. It's paralyzing fear. But of course, all of the multiple choice options were all paralyzing fear of this or paralyzing fear of that. So it turns out the answer was, and this true new illness that at that point had just entered the official English language dictionaries, was fear of being without a working mobile phone. No mo, as in no mobile, phobia, fear of I don't have my phone. And in the description that they gave, it said that there were two main ways that came about. Either my batteries were dying, this was in the days before the battery packs that everybody had, or I just didn't actually have my phone with me. And so now we also have another new illness, fear of missing out. It's a product of a couple of different things, but it's primarily a product of this myth of scarcity. There is a pervasive myth that we are indoctrinated into in our culture of lack. Now, we feel it in ourselves. Our culture and marketing has grabbed onto this psychological aspect of us and has used it to its advantage. And so if I want to sell you something, I'm going to convince you that what I have to sell you is going to make you feel like you are enough. With this handbag or mobile or car or vacation or certification or retreat or whatever it may be, you will feel enough. You will be as beautiful and free and wonderful as the people in my print ad or commercial or billboard seem to be. And because over the last many years, advertising has become something that was not just commercials on TV that we watched maybe an hour a day with our family in the evening, or billboards that we saw once every 500 feet as we drove down a road. But now advertising it's constant. I don't even know what the latest statistics are of how many ads most of us see every day. But it's constant. Check your email, ads. Go on social media, ads. Whatever you are doing, ads. And of course, it's become amazingly insidious because they know exactly which area you feel not enough in. So should you go on Amazon and purchase exercise equipment, what are you going to see ads for? Being thin, right? Thin is beautiful. Suddenly, all the ads you're going to get are for products and potions and things to make you fit and beautiful and thin because it knows you must have just made a resolution to get in shape. If you are searching for or you purchase some skin lotion, some moisturizing cream, suddenly what are you going to get besieged with? Age reversal, always young, whitening, fairness, beautiful, this, that, right? So it's actually become even more insidious because it knows exactly where you don't think you're enough. And it plays exactly to that. Joinmatch.com, every ad you're going to see is for how you have to be beautiful for your future spouse, how you have to be more successful and richer for your future spouse. So it's turning us not only into very in debt and frustrated consumers, but it's turning us much more neurotic. Because everywhere we look, that which I already was feeling a little bit on the inside, I can't escape it now. I can't check my email or go onto Facebook or Instagram or even Google searching for something else without seeing ads for all of that, which I'm already worried about. And so it's no wonder that we have this fear of not enoughness. I'm going to miss out on something. And that something I need to be full. And so the only way to combat that is to realize you're already full. You already are whole. It's not about what you achieve. It's not about what you look like. And that doesn't mean you can't buy what you want. But it means that there is nothing you need to be whole. If your skin is dry, buy cream. Who cares? If you want to get in shape, buy exercise equipment. Fantastic. But not because there is something lacking in you. Not because there is some place that you are not whole enough. And that's where our spiritual practice is the key. Because we all feel on some level not good enough. Whether on a very basic, not pretty enough, or on a spiritual, not pure enough, not divine enough. So until we really experience that presence of the divine within us. It's not that I, in my small self, am infinite. It's that the core of who I am is divine. And divine is infinite. And so when I touch that divinity within myself, I touch the infinity within myself. and I touch that which is everything. The last piece of that is the other really important way to combat that fear of missing out is simple clarity. Figure out what are your priorities. Because you're going to constantly be inundated with marketers trying to tell you what your priorities should be. And again, they'll do it even under the guise of spirituality. So if you decide my goal is spirituality, you're going to get ads for this course and that course and this thing. It knows how to get you. And so you need to be really clear about what are my priorities. And if it's spirituality, what exactly am I looking for? Do I need to necessarily do a course to get it? Or do I need to simply carve out half an hour of my day to sit and meditate? Because most of us don't have that much free time. And we've been also really indoctrinated to think that on a spiritual level, we also are not enough. Oh, you want to know your true self? Buy my course. Make sure that you've actually got time to go within, because the true self is you. And yes, the role of a guru is, I would say, essential for the vast, overwhelming majority of us. But that's because the guru directs you in, not out. The guru is sending you into the light of you. The marketers, those where the main agenda is their pockets much more than your awakening, are going to direct you toward them rather than toward you. So it's all about, look at how light I am, rather than find the light in you. Look at how light you are. Look at how whole you are. And so you need to really call back that control. Call back the priorities. What is it that's important to me? And then do those things. And yeah, you're going to miss out on some things. We're missing out being at the casino right now. Right now, there are people playing the slot machines. We are missing out. There are people in parties getting drunk, doing drugs, doing all sorts of things. We are missing out by sitting right here in satsang. But there's no fear of that, because that's not our priority. There's no sense of, oh God, I wish I were, because that's not our priority. In the same way, if you're clear about your priorities, there's all sorts of things going on that we're missing out on. But you cannot simultaneously be in satsang in Rishikesh and playing the slot machines in Las Vegas and partying in Paris. You have to choose. And you choose based on what your priority is. And then you're clear. And yeah, your Facebook feed may be full of people saying, slot machines, they're great. This party, this whiskey, it's great. But if you're clear, it's not going to impact you. It's not going to make you feel like, oh, I'm missing out on that. Because you're going to understand what your priorities are, what you're looking for. And so that fear will dissipate. And it's, by the way, essential that we work with this, because otherwise, not only do we become fearful, dissatisfied, neurotic, but we also find ourselves becoming very much in debt. Because we end up buying things and spending money on things that we would not otherwise do, because someone with some very good algorithm managed to sell us something that fit exactly with what I was struggling with. And so I've bought it. And so with respect for the money in our accounts, with respect for our mental peace, with respect for our strength and clarity to walk the path that we want to walk, we have to be clear. And then that fear will dissipate automatically.